Hey everybody, this is Daniel and Kelly with FitnessBloater.com, and today we've got a great core workout for you.
So we're going to be doing groups of 4 exercises twice through, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. So this will be a nice quick transition, and we're going to totally burn out the entire core.
We're going through 3 groups, so by the time we're done with this, you should be basically unable to sit up. That's the point.
Goal.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this thing. Like I said, we've got 45 seconds. Like Kelly said, we've got 45 seconds through of each exercise, 4 exercises per group, and then we get a little longer break in between. Starting off with jackknife crunch. Fully out flat, harder version, watch me.
And I'll be showing, the easier version. So just keep a bend in your knees to make it quite a lot easier.
For the harder version, you want to keep those legs perfectly straight, those arms perfectly straight. Try to keep them hovering off the ground if you can. You want to make sure you also keep that lower back flat against that mat the entire time. As you drop them down, you're going to want to pull them up.
You can always alternate back and forth between the hard and easy version as your endurance allows, just to keep it challenging for yourself.
Starting to get a nice burn. And next one is a knee tuck crunch. We'll be starting this in about 10 seconds. So sit up on that tailbone. Easier version is hands down the ground. Harder version, hands up.
So even if you're using your hands, try not to help too much. If you need to, just use it as a basic support for balance, but do as much of the work as you can with those abs.
Try to keep that back relatively flat. Try not to roll over or hunch over, especially as you lean back. You want to keep that back perfectly flat. Whew, that burns already. So you should be feeling this not only in your abs, but you might be feeling it quite a bit in your quadricep, the top of that thigh.
If you need to, you can always rest in between repetitions, so set your feet down and then extend back out.
All right, side crunches next. So we're going to start on your left side first. Be laying out with those legs leaned off to the left, crunching up, so focusing on your right side. Get a nice tight squeeze. If you want to make this harder, you can always use a dumbbell, just hold it in your hand, and just press it straight up over top of your shoulder.
There's no timer. Where are we at? There we go.
And switch over to a back bow crossover. So flat out on your stomach. Arms straight out. You're going to kick your arms and legs off to the left. And as you pick them up, you're going to bring them over top of an imaginary block, down to the right, and back over again. If you can, keep them hovering. If it's too hard for you, you can let them touch down each time. Or you can actually pull those hands back to really make it easy. How you doing over there?
Good.
Definitely comes in handy to have a really cushy mat to do these types of exercises. A yoga mat just won't cut it.
So you're also going to be feeling this in your lower body as well, definitely your thighs and your butt.
All right, starting this whole thing over again.
Round 2.
Back over to that jackknife crunch. So flat on your back. Just keep those lungs open. Try not to hold your breath.
It helps to inhale. Resistance. Inhale during the easy part, and then exhale. For example, here it would be when you're squeezing back up.
Just keep going to that happy place. It starts to burn. Just try to keep pushing through it, or take a really, really quick break and start in again.
Yeah, these are pretty long intervals, so they're meant to be kind of a burnout round, so don't feel bad if you need to take a quick breather. Great.
All right, up on that tailbone for that knee tuck crunch. Ready? If you're like us, you're probably already starting to feel a little bit of a burn going, or a lot of a burn. And just think, this is only the first group of 3.
Woohoo!
Ooh. Like I said, if you need to give it a break, that's perfectly fine. Try to let it relax for just a couple seconds, and then go right back into it again. All right, side crunch again. This time, legs crossed over to the other side. So lay those legs off to the right, focusing on the left side. Crunch it up nice and tight. So you're not going to feel like you have a ton of range of motion on this, but you want to make sure you're squeezing as tight as you can, trying to get that shoulder down towards that hip. Just keep it going.
Right.
One more.
Back bow crossovers.
So arms and legs out nice and straight, starting off to the left or right. Pick them up and over, and back again.
Get as much range of motion as you can out of this exercise without throwing your body in each position. You can be really smooth with it.
So by doing this kind of a rocking back and forth motion, not only are you focusing on your lower back, you should be feeling it through your glutes and hamstrings a little bit, upper body, and those obliques. All right, that's the end of our first group. We'll take a short little break, and then we're going to start back into that next group. So this next one, same thing, 4 exercises, running through the same thing, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds break to switch to the next. All right, let me go ahead and reset this thing here. What do you think?
Ready?
You want more break? You ready to go?
Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right, starting to back up, our first one is going to be a crisscross crunch. So laying flat on your back. Hands behind your head, one knee tucked up. Start them up.
Oh, you're doing it different. Okay. I told you this was a crisscross crunch.
Oh, am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I am reading it wrong.
Crisscross crunch.
Yeah, I'll do a crisscross crunch. Making
Point
everybody
one,
do
Kelly.
the different exercise.
So if you want to make it easier, you can do one crunch up, then kind of relax for just a second in between, then do your next crunch. Otherwise, try to make it a really fluid motion where you're never really resting all the way on the ground.
And to make this one really, really difficult, don't bring your knee in past the 90 degree on your hip.
Makes it so
and
much
knee.
harder.
Hooey.
Right. Russian twist.
All right, Russian twist. Up on that tailbone. Feet pulled in as close as comfortable. Back perfectly flat. Arms in front of you. Just rotate left to right.
So for the harder version, take your feet up off the ground.
Actually, lean back a little bit more.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Not
just
gonna be
rest
doing
your
that
feet on the ground.
one. The further you sit up, the more you're just perfectly straight up and down twisting, the less those abs have to work. So the further you lean back with a perfectly flat back, the harder you're going to have to work. The more muscle development, muscle strength you're going to build. How you doing over there?
tired. I don't work my abs very much. Specifically. Feeling yesterday's workouts right about now.
Yeah. All right, side hip raises next. So start on your left side, on your elbow. Knees for easier version, feet for harder version. Bring that hip straight up and back down. Keeping a nice straight line through your body.
So you're definitely going to feel this in the side that you're dipping down to, but you should also feel a little bit through your upper body as well as through those legs, especially the leg that's supporting you and helping you do that lift.
Try to keep those hips perpendicular to the ground. Try not to let them lean over forward. Your body's going to either try to lean back or lean forward to try to get some bigger muscle groups like your abdominal muscles to help out. But try to keep them sideways.
Alright, so now back bow pull.
Back bow pull. So flat on your stomach. Arms and legs are going to come up. So squeeze them up. Squeeze those elbows back to your sides. Back out and down. Hover them for the harder version. Back up. Squeeze. Out and back down. If this gets too hard for you, feel free to let those arms and feet actually touch down to the ground each time. But try to do the hardest version you can for as long as possible. A nice, slow, controlled motion. All right, get to start that over again. So another crisscross crunch, or what was supposed to be a cross crunch. All right, hands behind your head, alternate back and forth. Try to get a good rotation through those shoulders. Whew. You're doing better than I am.
Don't compare yourself to others, Daniel.
Oh, come on. I'm a little competitive.
Russian twist. Inhale down.
Okay, hands out in front, back flat, rotating left to right.
Okay.
Just go to that happy place. Yeah. Keep pushing through it. Try to keep everything nice and solid.
Ooh.
Nice flat back. Youch.
Yeah. You can always hold on to a weight to make it harder. Remember.
Have fun with that. All right, side hip raise, this time on the other side. So knees bent or feet stacked, whichever you can control, or whichever is harder for you that you can actually still control. Try to pull that shoulder underneath you down towards that hip. Try to get a really nice squeeze, press that hip up. Boy, man, that burns. All right, one more, so back bow pulls, and we'll give you a nice long break.
Right.
Everything up, Pull those elbows back, back forward, and down. Anything giving out yet?
No, not quite. Everything's complaining but not giving out. Squeeze, make each of those movements count. This one helps encourage better posture, really, too, if you're doing the arms right.
Yeah, really focus on pulling those shoulder blades back. Whew. All right. That was the last one of those for that group, which means we have one group left to go. Before we start up that one, let's get a little bit of a water break. See you guys in just a second. All right, guys, we only have one group left to go, so let's go ahead and get them started. You ready? All right.
We're doing toe touch drops.
Yes, toe touch drops
These are
first.
kind of fun. I mean that relative to the other exercises. They're totally fun.
More fun than others. All right, so legs start up.
Here.
Crunch up towards those toes. One leg drops. Back up, crunch up again. And the opposite side.
So for the easier version, you can always do this. Keep the knees bent. It makes for a little less resistance on those legs.
My body's giving out on me. Everything's shaking.
We did some heavy leg workouts for you guys yesterday that we're kind of suffering from still. This one's good for your flexibility too, so on that note, if you are feeling inflexible, again, you can bend at the knee. Just do what you can.
All right. Next one is reverse crunch. Oh yeah, same position. All right, so legs up again. Hands down on the ground this time. Very slowly, just shove those hips straight up into the air. Try not to swing your legs. A lot of people, when they do this, they'll get a good leg swing going. Try just to push straight up. Both of them water in our stomach, sloshing around. I'm not gonna be able to do this when we're laughing too hard.
Sound like water beds. Right. We're doing the ab rocker.
Ab rockers.
Sounds like
All
a
right.
piece of 80s ab equipment. doesn't
Yeah.
it? Actually, I
Might
think there
be.
is one still.
All right, so a little bit of a crunch and then just twist left to right.
You want to make it easier? Come down and rest in between each. Make it harder, but never really relaxing those abs. Always hovering.
A good way to do this is to focus on trying to reach, like you're almost trying to reach down towards your toe on each side, but keeping those shoulders up off the ground. So you're going to be feeling this in your abdominal muscles quite a bit from having to keep your shoulder blades up, and in those obliques from tipping left to right. Apparently chose the wrong shorts for this workout.
Sliding.
All right, swimmers are next. So over onto your stomach. Arms and legs out, about shoulder width, hip width apart. Left hand, right foot comes up first, down, and then opposite arm and leg up and back down. So easier version is just letting those hands and feet touch the ground each time and keep your face hovering just a bit off the ground. For the harder version, you hover everything all the way off the ground. Protect that neck. Make sure you're always looking down towards the ground. You don't want to crane your neck up or tip it off to the other side, left or right.
So this is another one that you're going to feel through your back and your glutes and your thighs as well. Oops.
Try to keep those arms nice and straight. Try not to start bringing them in close.
Right.
All right, starting them over again. So back to that toe touch drop. Just alternating back and forth, nice and slow.
Hey.
Harder for you a little bit.
That's gonna kick you. Oops, my leg slipped.
So actually drop them off to the side. Just keep pushing it. Focus on that form. Try to go as long as you can until those muscles are about to give out. Give yourself a little bit of a break and go right back into it. Or get through the whole thing without stopping if you can.
2, 1. Right.
All right, reverse crunch next.
Water bellies.
Yeah. All right, hands down, legs up. Press it up. Whew, man, my quadriceps are giving out on me. My body doesn't want to keep my legs straight.
I can see him shaking.
Yeah, that's what I get for doing a ridiculous leg workout yesterday.
So there's 2 intervals left.
All right,
Almost done.
ab rockers. Crunch those shoulders up, twisting left to right. Keep those abdominal muscles pulled in nice and tight, so concentrate on pulling that belly button down to train those abdominal muscles to contract in and flat rather than pressing out like they're gonna typically want to. This will help you keep a nice flat stomach, generally speaking. Just keep it going. Keep those shoulders up.
Right.
All right, last one. All right, full swimmers. Left hand, right foot, and then over the other side. Try to keep them hovering if you can. Keep those lungs open. No holding your breath. Just kind of go at your own pace. Try not to move them too fast. You want a nice tight squeeze at the top each time. So really focus on that. And let it relax. All right. That was the last exercise, the last group.
So if you're not going directly into another routine right now, make sure that you do a cool down and stretch. Otherwise,
This workout is complete. We'll see you next time, guys.
Good job, guys.